Welcome to GreenBiz Studio. I'm John Davies, Senior Vice President at GreenBiz, and I'm excited to be speaking with William Theisen, CEO of EcoAct North America, an Atos company. Welcome, William.
Thank you so much for having me.
So let's start right off with who is EcoAct?
So, EcoAct in a nutshell is an international climate consultancy and project developer with over 350 climate experts worldwide. So, our main focuses have been in business advisory, so really empowering our clients to excel on their net zero journey, but also as a project developer, developing nature and tech based solutions on behalf of our clients. And with over 18 years of experience, EcoAct's core purpose is to lead the way in developing sustainable business solutions that deliver true value for both climate and client. We act to put climate and nature center stage to drive sustainable corporate transformation within planet boundaries. So really, our focus is to empower our clients to move as fast as they can in the most effective way possible to achieve their net zero goals.
What do you see as the key steps in creating a robust climate transition plan? What are you telling companies that you're working with?
So really the key elements of a climate transition plan is that it's time bound, but it's also detailed as in terms of a roadmap that articulates an organization's strategic alignment with the latest climate science recommendations. It also really needs to be accountable, science-based, and concretely actionable. Other elements of a credible plan at the corporate level is that it really needs to integrate climate considerations into the business strategies and operations. So looking at risks and opportunities, monitoring planned actions, and adjusting when necessary. And also driving accountability and transparency to ensure that you're engaging different business lines within your organization, but also all the suppliers and within your supply chain, as well as more. But what's really key is that this is an iterative process, right? Like you're not just going through a checklist, you're creating the transition plan, you're looking at transformation, but then as year on year, you're really looking at that and redefining what the key actions and priorities are so you can progress in a very efficient, effective way to achieve those net zero targets.
Great. So, how should companies approach biodiversity and nature as part of the net zero goals? You talked about that earlier, and we're certainly seeing a rise in interest in this. So, how do you see companies integrating that into their transition plans?
So the approach is quite similar at a high level from looking at your carbon or your climate impacts, right? Like you want to do the mapping, you want to understand the materiality, what has the most effect in terms of biodiversity on the planet. And then it really is looking at risk and opportunities. Where are there risks into changing your supply chain so it has less biodiversity impact? How can you mitigate those risks? Where are the opportunities where it can actually make your supply chain more robust? But at the end of the day, it's very similar to what we're doing in terms of climate, in terms of risk and opportunities when we're looking at climate risks, whether they be transition or physical. And then we are actually doing a biodiversity footprint. So we're looking at all the impacts throughout the supply chain and throughout the operations on biodiversity. The one trick is that the methodologies are still being refined. So when we're working on biodiversity, we're using different methods and tools such as the Global Biodiversity Score to help guide our clients and where they sit in terms of biodiversity impacts, and really using that to assess all three scopes and where you can start reducing. And then again, it's similar to climate and carbon. It's developing that action plan and really to see where you can preserve ecosystems and limit your impact on biodiversity. So there's a lot of parallels, but the methodologies are still coming out and being refined, but we're trying to use what's available and really take that forward to get companies started on their journey.
Sounds great. I've been talking with William Theisen, CEO at EcoAct. Thanks, William.
Thank you so much for having me.